We've been talking about average people making a difference, and I've got someone on the line with me who has done just that. Matt Papke. Matt Papke is a Tempe resident, and he attended Tempe's Corona del Sol High School. He lettered in football, wrestling, ROTC, and academics. And after high school, Matt went on and enlisted into the United States Marine Corps, where he served as an infantry assault missile man and was honorably discharged in September of 1998. Matt eventually became very, very involved in the freedom movement, became involved in government to help get our country on the right track back in 2010. He was elected as a national delegate to the 2012 RNC, where he represented Dr. Ron Paul. And of course, I love this about Matt. He says that in order to change government, you have to become government. This is just one of your average guys out there trying to make a difference. Matt, thank you so much for being with me tonight.
Hey, Shane, it's great to be here, man. Hello, my friend. How are you today?
I'm doing fantastic. You're up in Payson right now.
Yes, sir.
How is that going?
It's outstanding. We had a good summit today. Obviously, the weather's beautiful, but in addition to just being out of the heat for a few hours, we had a summit of a lot of people looking to help the country. We had representatives from John Birch Society, Arizona Civil Defense League, 10th Amendment Center, Arizona Liberty Central, and a few other organizations. We're all just getting together trying to figure out, what can we do to work together to coordinate our efforts and be the most impactful and efficient we can.
Fantastic. I think that's great. Hearing about people, average Americans coming together and say, let's work together. We have different areas of expertise, different areas of interest, but let's come together, defend the foundation, and move this thing forward so that we can restore this country back to its founding principles. Now, you're running for town council, Tempe City Council, correct?
That's correct. I'm running for city council election. The primary is going to be August of 2014. The website's FreeTempe.com. Free you, free me, free Tempe. And you can go there, learn about myself, the positions that we hold, and offer donations too.
Well, tell us, why did you choose to run for city council?
Well, I'm actually pretty active in our district, in District 26. I'm third vice chair there, and it's been about almost a year that I've been in that position, and I feel like the district's in a pretty good shape. It is, it's very liberty-minded. There's a lot of education that's occurring there. So I feel the next step is to try to secure my city, and that city is Tempe. So what I did, Shane, is I started going to some of their meetings, and I went to the town council meetings. I don't know, if you or some of your guests have ever been there, but I got to tell you, it woke me up a little bit, because the first meeting I went to, they spent about $6 million in 30 minutes with about zero discussion.
Wow!
And it just blew my mind. I was like, "You got to be kidding me! Is this how this is operating?" So I kept going to a few meetings. And I saw that same pattern. There's virtually no debate in the Tempe City Council. You can call it a rubber stamp gang if you want, but they don't like to talk about the issues publicly. Who knows what they do privately? And I went to a few more meetings, and I said, well, you know what? Maybe they're on the right path. I mean, I've lived in Tempe pretty much my whole life, save a few years in California during my enlistment and other places. And I said, well, maybe they're just on the right path, and Tempe seems to be going pretty good, and I don't see a whole lot of crime in my neighborhood, and maybe things are hunky dory, right? So I started looking at the financials, and Shane, I got to tell you, they're not okay. The city of Tempe for the last 5 years has run at a loss. They have raised taxes for the last 5 years. They have taken their bond debt from what somebody could call, potentially manageable $300,000 range. It's now sitting close to $700 million. It was at $300 million before. Now it's about $700 million. And from what I can tell, Shane, is they're kind of treading water. Just giving your audience a quick example here. Their operating budget for 2012-2013 is $594 million. The revenue they're expecting to take in is $494 million. There's only 160,000 people in Tempe, Shane.
Wow.
Yeah, that means about $3,000 per person are going to fund their city projects.
What is your number one priority? If you were to be elected to the...
right now, and I've written several articles about it that you can find on the website, and various other news outlets have picked them up, but it's to restore debate. At the very least, we have to have conversation. We can't just say, well, that sounds like a good idea, and let's just approve it and not have any debate, not have any public debate. It's a very scary situation when it seems like it's coming from the top, and they say, hey, this is what you guys need to vote for today, and they vote for everything. Because when I got there, I said, well, you know what? Maybe there's no debate. Okay, they're doing okay. I said maybe they're just freaking geniuses, and everything they touch is gold. But it's not, Shane. It's not. They just cut service. They've cut some service to the city of Tempe. The residents are incurring loss of service while they're raising the property tax rate. They're increasing the fees to do business. It's not. So my biggest goal right now is to restore the culture of debate, because right now it's a culture of compliance. And that is not how any functional democratic republic is going to operate. You have to have that debate. You have to have that moment where somebody can come in with an opposing view and really make the case and have it heard in a public manner. And that's not happening in the city of Tempe right now.
I'm talking with Matt Papke. He is running for Tempe City Council and is just a great individual. I think I met you, Matt, probably 2 years ago, and then we've been involved in a number of engagements together all over the state of Arizona. And I think you're really the poster child, if you will, for an individual who saw a problem and said, I want to do something about it. What would you tell our listeners who are sitting there on the couch, maybe driving down the freeway, who recognize that there is a problem going on, that government is too big at all levels, whether you're talking about the federal government, the state government, or local government? It is simply on track to really destroy the freedoms, the basic freedoms of the people. What would you tell them to do to get involved?
Sure. Just like you mentioned, and I put out in my newsletter, in order to change government, you have to become government. And I didn't come up with that statement. That was a gentleman named David Fitzgerald, who is an outstanding person as well. But that doesn't mean that everybody has to go run for Senate. It doesn't mean everybody has to go run for city council. It means that you have to take charge of whatever geographic area or demographic area that you live in. And it could be your neighborhood. It could be your HOA. I'm on the board of my HOA, and since I've been there, we went from a negative $40,000 deficit to a positive $70,000 surplus.
Wow.
It's just doing things. If you don't do it, either A, it's not going to get done, or B, somebody else is going to do it, and they're going to probably try to enrich themselves in the process. And that's what we're seeing, like I said, at all levels of government, with these no-bid contracts, these blank checks, this lack of debate. They're trying to destroy the filibuster process. They don't want the debate, and the people need the debate. And that's what we're trying to bring back to the city of Tempe, is that public debate, so that we can get back on a fiscally sound path and secure, the life and the liberty and the pursuit of happiness for our residents. So your audience, Shane, if you're looking for somebody to incorporate with, to figure out what to do, honestly, they're out there. Meetup.com, MEET, up.com is a great place. There's a bunch of organizations. It's a website-based community. Lots of organizations. There's Second Amendment organizations. There's responsible tax organizations. There's Tea Party organizations. There's Liberty organizations. If you're just looking to say, hey, I want to get involved, where can I go? That's a pretty good location. That's a pretty good destination.
It really is. Well, Matt, I want to tell you, I appreciate what it is that you do. I appreciate the fact that you are not just talking the talk, you're walking the walk. You're getting involved in an area that you're very passionate about. You are committed to restoring the idea of freedom. You're committed to doing away with larger runaway government that really would seek to destroy, intentionally or unintentionally, future generations by incurring this enormous debt that we're dealing with as a culture, from local all the way up to federal government. So Matt Papke is running for Tempe City Council. You can find out more about him at FreeTempe.com. That's FreeTempe.com. Matt, thank you so much for being with me this evening. Enjoy the weather up there in Payson, and be safe coming back down to the valley.
You got it, Shane. Thank you again for everything you do. And it really is about we the people.
That's right. Thank you, Matt.